What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on some comments that Rob Parker made about LeBron James, right? And basically, he just explained why most people in basketball and the media and the fans really don't respect LeBron James and what he's doing as a basketball player. And I thought that Rob Parker, he used Tiger Woods as an example. And I thought that just the way Rob Parker put it, it just really just brought everything home. And it really just made made it clear, and it was a great example, right? So with that being said, I want to play the audio from Rob Parker's show, The Odd Couple, and come back after that and give my input on what Rob Parker said.
Rob G, can you start with the Masters, which of course is underway, round one, and of course Tiger Woods not there,
not at all. In fact,
but he's still
not
being
even in the
talked
country.
About. Right,
he really is. Yeah, Rory McIlroy, great day for him, trying to go back to back, trying to make some history there at Augusta. He's currently tied atop the leaderboard at 5 under after day one. But as you might mentioned, Tiger Woods is still the story there in Augusta.
He's still golf.
The dark cloud that is Tiger Woods right now, still hanging over the azaleas there in Augusta, Georgia. In fact, Gary Player, legendary golfer, spoke about Tiger Woods, his latest transgressions, and what it means for the sport of golf. Take a listen.
Do I blame him for taking medicine? Hell no. He has sleep deprivation. Do I blame him for taking something to help him sleep? No. But I don't think he should drive a car. When you're taking that medicine, it's dangerous when you're driving a car. Same as it's dangerous when you look at your cell phone in the car. There's 6,000 accidents a day in America in motor cars. So I just think all he's got to do is just not drive a car and get a chauffeur. I mean, my reflexes, I think, are as good as when I was 20, but I don't drive anymore. I get a chauffeur. And I think that's the answer to it. He's such an asset to golf and has done so much for the game. I mean, there was never, when we were young people, there were no blacks playing the tour, guys. I remember going to Charlie Sifford in 1957, and I said, Mr. Sifford, how did you play today? I'm not allowed to play, I'm black. So I experienced apartheid in South Africa and in America. And Tiger comes along, and you realize what he does for the black man around the world. You can never work out what he's done for golf. So my heart goes out for him.
And there it is, spot on by Gary Player. And what I mean is, everything they say about Tiger is guarded and with the utmost respect, even though the stuff that he does is selfish, and he's been very fortunate that he has not killed anybody, okay? They all mention it. He shouldn't be driving, right? It's a bad situation. But do you hear the reverence they talk about with him because of what he's done for the sport and the impact that he's had? Gary Player knows it. He played when black people couldn't get out there. I can't remember who the black golfer was. At one point, the Canadian Open, if you won that, you got an automatic invitation to the Masters. So it's the 17th hole. He's leading the Canadian Open. They send a wire telegram said, this year, winning the Canadian Open is not an automatic. He hadn't even won it yet. But they knew, like, oh, my God, he could win the Canadian Open, and then he has to be invited. Okay, so we know all that.
Okay, why would you get me started?
I know.
You know,
I know. but then that's an unbelievable story. Like, he didn't even win the Canadian, but they wanted to make sure, let you know, so when you win, don't think you come into the Masters. But here it is.
Yeah.
The difference between Tiger Woods and LeBron James is day and night. LeBron would be dragged all over the place if this were him, if he was Tiger. Tiger gets a pass and is dealt with kid gloves because of his impact on the sport. They all ate, right? When Tiger played, go look at the TV ratings. It's not There's no denying.
there's no denying
Even when he wasn't winning, they'd always put him in the promo. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not even really in the running like there was those years.
Right.
But he was always in the promo. Come, watch Tiger Woods and always. They were like, ain't no way we doing a promo about golf and Tiger's not going to be mentioned. So no matter what he does, short of killing somebody, you know what I mean? Like something of that degree, they always tippy-toe around Tiger Woods for what he meant and has meant and his impact. And LeBron doesn't have that. For all the accolades, for all the years, for all of the stuff, they don't do that when it comes to LeBron. There is a big difference between how people respond to LeBron and stuff that he does and how they respond to Tiger. And LeBron has done nothing close to endangering other people.
All right, so that right there, in my opinion, is like it puts it in its proper perspective, right? When you think about LeBron James and being an ambassador for the game of basketball, LeBron James never really did that. LeBron James has benefited from playing basketball, right? So when you think about like people who are fans of the game of basketball don't really, I think they can be fair. Even if you don't like Michael Jordan, you can acknowledge what Michael Jordan did for the game of basketball. If you don't like Magic or Larry Bird, you can acknowledge what they did for the game of basketball, right? Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they took basketball to a whole different level. And so I don't care if you're a Larry Bird fan or you're a Magic Johnson fan, that's something that no fan on either side can take away from Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. But it wasn't like that for LeBron James. Like LeBron James, in my opinion, like I said, he benefited so much from playing basketball, but he never really put the game, he never really took care of the game or elevated the game like past superstars did. And that, in my opinion, that's all what real basketball fans, that's the problem with basketball fans that they have with LeBron James. You'll get a pass. Michael Jordan has done some things that people might not appreciate or like, but because of what Michael Jordan meant to the game of basketball, he can get a pass. Larry Bird may have some things that he's done, or Magic Johnson, but because of what they did, people kind of, like Rob Parker said, people kind of tippy-toe around what these guys, if they have any indiscretions or anything in their past, because of what they meant to the game of basketball, short of hurting somebody, like drunk driving or something like that. Those type of things they get a pass for. People are going to overlook that. But LeBron James don't get the same type of respect. He don't get that same type of consideration. He don't get a pass like that because he's never been an ambassador for the game of basketball. And I think that in the long run, that's going to hurt his legacy, especially when LeBron James retire. Remember, people right now are pushing back on LeBron James, and he hasn't even retired. And a lot of times, I think that certain parts of the media and the NBA protect LeBron James because LeBron James is still in the NBA. But once LeBron James leaves the game of basketball, I think it's it's going to be open season on him. People are already taking shots and going at him, but it'll be open season on him. The NBA right now, they don't want it's not good business for them to say anything or have anything negative come out about LeBron James, but the owners and everybody who are in the NBA, they recognize that LeBron James has not really been an ambassador, and he's not really been, I wouldn't say not good for the NBA, but he hasn't taken the game to another level like everybody else. Like you could talk about Kobe, and that's why I like those older guys who played before LeBron James, because they left it all out on the court. You still have some guys today that are playing like that. I like Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry is the kind of player who leaves it all out on the court. And he's brought something to the game and elevated the game. I think Steph Curry has elevated the game more so than LeBron James. Most people who know basketball will tell you that LeBron James has basically just been along for the ride. And so everything that Rob Parker just said about, the difference between LeBron James and Tiger Woods, I just think it just makes it so clear about, what the fans was expecting from LeBron James and what they got from LeBron James, So yeah, everything about LeBron James, everything has been just about LeBron James, him benefiting. And it's disappointing for somebody to have so much talent. I always say, and people might say this is crazy, but I don't think that we really saw the best of LeBron James. I really don't, because LeBron James, he was too entitled, and it was too easy for LeBron James to move around from team to team. When things wasn't working out in one organization, he could move to another organization. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.